Hi guys, I'm Jan and I'm doing Slimming World, and as you can see, if you've been following me along, I am in a much better mood this morning. I have made an executive decision that today is the day that the positivity starts. I'm not allowed to cry, I'm not allowed to whine, and I need to show a little bit more gratitude. That is how I'm starting my week 120, because I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of seeing me so emotional and being so deep and just carrying it like heavy on my shoulders, whatever I've got going on. And I just think it's time to call it a day. So today is 120 weeks on my weight loss journey. I'm about to head out the door to go to my Slimming World group. Of course, I'm running a little bit late because my timekeeping in the morning does not be like, it's just not on point. I need to work on that also. I've got my food optimizing book, so my weigh day can get written in there. And do you want to know what's in the box today? Today in the box, I am putting on a countdown to your bikini body chart. So for each pound that the person that wins this loses, they will put a pound in each one of these, and it's 0 to 23. I thought it might be quite motivating, something a bit different from putting on like one of the, what do I usually put in? The books every week. Last week I put a book and apron on. So this week, this is what's going in the box, and I hope somebody likes it. I've got to run because I've got to go, but wish me luck. And I'm back. I have been and got weighed. I've just come home and had an egg mayo salt and pepper wrap that I made with 3 boiled eggs and one of the Slimming World wraps, because I really like those. I think they're a really good size. They're quite filling, and I'm working late tonight, so I wanted something like for dinner time, and I thought, right, I'm gonna have that now. Do excuse the washing machine. I've just put my trainers in the washing machine, the white ones, 2 pairs actually, and I never thought, oh yeah, I've got to record my video, so you're gonna have to listen to that in the background. Group was really nice today. I was talking to my friend Gary about BMI, and he says that that's a really good guidance. And we had a look and Googled mine. I was really open actually about my weight and told people in person, which although I know Gary could watch these videos and see it, it just felt really, really, really different. But that was like a new thing that I've kind of overcome and got my head around. It does say that my BMI should sit between 8 stone 7 and 10 stone 2, I think. I can't remember fully, which means I've got quite a way to go. Slimmer of the week, I put my little bikini body countdown in, which reminds me, just wait there. So I have a tendency to constantly do things for other people and I forget about myself a little bit, and I've been shopping charity shops and finding things to put in the basket, and putting in like the motivational things where you put pound coins in, Slimming World books, everything. And then as I was shopping last week, I found this. And it's quite in line with having a target, because I've really struggled with not having one. So now I've spoke to Gary, I've spoke to a few different people, I spoke to the guy at the gym, and we've all discussed like goals and setting them. And I don't know, I do feel like I've got some clear answers, and I feel a bit more informed and advised as to where I need to be. So Mark said like about 12. The BMI, I think, is too big of a chunk to set as a target right now. So I do want to break that up, because I feel like I fare better when it's an achievable target and I've got a countdown. So as I was shopping, I came across this. It's a little bit wonky. The back has broken a little bit, but I don't know, I could glue that or screw it. I could mend that if I wanted to. And having thought really deeply about my target, I think I want to aim for the 12.5 stone. So I've counted up how many like little holes are on this, and it goes up to 40. And so I've filled it with however many pounds I've lost so far. And then if I can fill this, then it means I can get to my 12.5 stone. So I've decided to choose 12.5 stone as a solid target for me to aim for, because that means then I have halved my body weight. Having started at like 25 stone, 1.5 pounds, if I can fill this, it will get me to 12.5 stone. And I don't think that will be my end goal, but I think for now that is a really good way to go. I'm a little bit confused as to where to head with my end goal, just because I've always been overweight, so I don't know where I'm happy and where's easily sustainable. But for right now, I'm happy to have 12.5 stone as the target that I'm going for. So I bought myself this, and rather than giving it away in the Slimmer of the Week basket, I thought this could be quite a good little motivator and something for me to aim for. And I put it in my front room. It's just on the side under a lamp, and just looking at it, it'll be nice to fill these up and get to that 12.5 stone mark. So that is my new motivation, and it's cost me 50 pence, which you can't really grumble at that, can you? And it's quite good. I think it's quite positive that I remember to do something like that for myself, rather than just constantly doing it for other people. This week has been, if you've not watched my other videos, it's been a little bit challenging. I've cried twice, just because I've put myself outside my comfort zone, and I've found that really difficult. I didn't really cry out of like upsetness, really. It's more anxiety or overwhelmed, and just really emotional. I got really like touched by something that somebody said about me, and I think I just need to have a really positive week and just stop being so mean to myself. So that is where I want myself and my head to be at this week. I've had a really good week on plan. I made good choices when we went out for something to eat on Friday, and other than that, I have been on it 1000%. Today in group, they did do the new thing where they don't go around and ask each individual's weights and what they want to lose. What they've said is write down your goal in your book, where you get weighed as to what you want to lose next week. And they did it like in groups. So they were like, who's lost a pound? And you put your hand up if you have, or who's lost £2. And they did it like that. She said she's had some really good feedback from other groups that she's done it with, and they've really enjoyed it. And we had like a bit of a wonky group this time, but I really enjoyed it. I got to chat to a lot of people, and I just find group resets my week a little bit. I'm glad to have survived to Thursday. It does feel like I've survived this week, not thrived. I think more because I've been making myself do more and wearing the tankini and things like that. It's been a very much a mental development week for me, which has not been the easiest, but probably is very important to my journey, is what I'm going to say. So group, I'm not going to keep talking on and babbling on, because if you wanted to know how I'd done this week, then you can watch the videos that are early in the week. So I got weighed. Today is week 120 for me, the 3rd of the 7th, 2025. I nearly said 15 then. Last week I weighed in at 14 stone 11, and this week I have weighed in at 14 stone 9.5. Last week I lost £0.5 pound, and so this week it means that I've lost £1.5 pounds. A little bit disappointed with that, because I've tried really, really hard, but then also not disappointed because I'm happy to plod on. It would have been nice to have got £2.5 pounds, so I could have got my 10.5 stone award, but that's just not how the scales work sometimes, and I think that's fine. Am I disappointed with £1.5 pounds? No, I'm not. I quite like what I'm doing, that I'm plodding on. It's not super hard work. I have days off when I want to, I go out and things, but then I do pull it back. I have got my head around the fact that I'm just going to plod on now and it not be wanting to lose massive losses. I do think £1.5 pounds is quite substantial. I'd be quite happy with £1 or £0.5 a week if that's what it wants to drop to, as long as it's consistently going in the right direction. I feel quite at peace with that. Yeah, that's just where I'm at really with it. I think the figures make me want that extra pound this week, but the reality is it doesn't matter if it comes next week or the week after, as long as it comes at some point. I have now had a total weight loss of 10 stone and £6, which is nothing really to turn your nose apart, is it really? I think it's quite a lot of weight. I think it's an adult person that I've lost. Life is a little bit easier now, and if I just keep chipping away at it, that figure will, well, my weight hopefully will decrease and decrease, and the figure that I've lost will increase and increase. And like I feel quite at peace now, which sounds really stupid, doesn't it? But I feel quite at peace almost now. I've got a figure to aim to, that if I just keep soldiering away at that, then it'll come eventually. And it's quite nice to have an aim and be able to count those figures down. So that is my book for today, just so you can see where I'm at. And that is my little weighing done. Because I've lost £1.50, obviously I can't put 50p's in here. So I'm just going to put £1 in. That's the best I can do. And if I lost £0.5 next week, I will just put a full £1 in here. And that's going to get a bit tricky, you know, just keep saying how many pounds should be in here. With a horse having to add them up and remember to add them in. But I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it, really? But I suppose as a visual, this is really quite helping me, and it's keeping me quite focused. So that is my weighing video for this week done. I do feel absolutely exhausted, and in like 20 minutes I've got to go to work, so I'm going to get off, if I'm going to be honest. I hope you've had a good week, and if you are heading towards a weigh-in, good luck. If you've already been weighed, it'd be fantastic to know how you've got on, because I do find that quite motivating, and I do enjoy knowing about other people's weight loss. Think thin, and here's to another week. And fingers crossed, I do hope I lose £1 next week, because I would really like to get to the 10.5 stone award next week. But if not, hopefully the week after. Take care.